What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol TSLA for Tesla Inc., of course. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, this will, of course, be an update. We talk about the stock regularly on the channel. In the past video, we were discussing that, fantastic breakout of the bull flag. Obviously, it left the gap in the chart underneath us, and we were expecting a consolidation day today, but certainly we got more than that, right? A big pullback on today's session. I don't want you to be alarmed, especially if you're a longer term trader. It's not like today's, bar was overwhelmingly bearish. Remember that we're breaking out of a bull flag here through a gap and then continuation on Monday. The fact that we've pulled back a little bit, consolidated a little bit here, although it wasn't perfect like what we wanted, it's not the end of the world, especially for you people who either have it long from down here or even before the monster breakout happened, like, 700s, 750s in that area. Today's candle really isn't that big of a deal, especially noting where we've come from, right? Remember the context of the bull flag, big breakout on a gap. It's okay to see a little bit of a pullback. Now, we do have levels where the trade starts to become invalidated, and to me, that would just be, we're getting more bearish on Tesla if the lows of the flag at 1065 are revisited and broken down underneath. It would also be a violation of the daily 50 SMA. Sure, you get more bearish in that instance, but for now, a little bit of digestion of this big gap, this big sort of power move higher, fine, it's okay. The market needs a little bit of give and take. If we go ahead and zoom in on the 30-minute time frame just to see how this move unfolded, it was really out of the gates. Things sort of fell apart. I mean, sure, we did fill that gap overhead, which is noteworthy. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the gap fill area and really just leave this one on right here. We're going to change that back to our gray color. There we go. And again, what you'll notice is that still is resistance, correct? Although the gap did fill, we've repaired that structure, it's still resisting there. So to me, this is nothing more than a bear flag on a smaller time frame, but ultimately a pullback in the grand scheme of a bullish move on the daily. So for now, we're going to take out the Fibonacci's from high down to the low. There we go. What you'll see is we are resisting at the 50% mark. We're also underneath that breakout point that we mentioned in yesterday's video. So yeah, it is a little bit bearish out there from a short-term perspective. And again, don't confuse this with what I just said on the daily, but from a short-term scalping perspective, like you're looking for 5, 10, 15, maybe 30-minute holds on options or stock even, then yeah, it is starting to put in definitely a bit of a bearish consolidation here back down towards the lows instead of above that sort of pivot that we pointed out yesterday. Let me clean up the fibs just to illustrate that a little bit more nicely. We're going to go ahead and actually, yeah, I guess we can leave both on. So I was contemplating removing the 1160, but it is such an important daily level in here that we may as well just leave it on there as a zone, right? This is now going to act as your pivot zone. If we can get back above, obviously it checks out as being more bullish. If we remain underneath 1160, it checks out as being more bearish. I would watch for more of the gap to fill. So a 30-minute bar that closes underneath that 1136 does continue to take us at least to here, the low of today's session, if not a little bit further to fill more of the gap into about 1081 like we discussed in yesterday's video. Once we get to the gap fill, please do reassess the chart, see if we start printing hammers, indecision dojis, and if we are going to get some sort of gap fill reversal, right? That is the next potential long setup if it's bearish into the gap close, right? So these are all of the scenarios that I'm thinking about inside of Tesla. For any short-term traders, again, just use this zone as a pivot, bearish underneath, bullish above. And for any longer-term traders, it's not the end of the world, right? Rejoice in the fact that you got a breakout of the pattern, let it unfold, let it cool off, and see where it wants to go next. 1065 is ultimately the big level for you guys to be watching longer-term traders. That's going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it today or learned anything new, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is going to be linked in the description. And all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.